Today in Luther's Kitchen, I'm making peach cobbler. I'm using a mix of white and yellow peaches, and I'm just indenting the bottoms of each peach with an X. I have a large pot of boiling water that's ready, and I'm gently dropping in the peaches. They're gonna sit in this boiling water for about 3 minutes. I'm basically trying to soften them so the skins will be easy to peel. I have a big ice bath ready so the peaches can cool immediately and also stop cooking. When they're cool enough to the touch, I can easily remove the skin. And once I have removed the skins, I'm going to cut the peaches into a large dice. I find that chunks are better than slices for a peach cobbler. So I'm just trying to get around the core so that I can remove the pit and cut the peaches into chunks. For the topping, I'm basically making like a biscuit topping. So I'm starting with all-purpose flour, baking powder, baking soda, kosher salt, and some sugar. Give it a little sweetness. Ice cold butter chunks, unsalted. We don't want to manhandle those too much because we want the butter to stay nice and cold. I'm using a pastry cutter, but you could also use 2 forks and cut the butter in. Alternatively, you could do this in a food processor and pulse these ingredients together. You basically want all the flour coating the butter pieces, and the butter pieces should be about the size of green peas or slightly smaller. I'm adding in some super cold buttermilk and giving all of that a good stir. The mixture may seem a bit crumbly, but you don't want to continue to add too much liquid to it because it'll change the texture. To all of the chopped peaches, I'm adding a little bit of cornstarch. That'll help absorb some of the liquid that's going to be released when the peaches cook. I've got a little bit of salt, some vanilla extract, cinnamon, nutmeg, and you could even put in a little ground ginger. That would be lovely. Give all that a good toss. I didn't put anything at the bottom because it's non-stick, but you could grease it with butter if you think your pan needs it. I'm gonna take that mixture, the crumble topping or cobbler topping, and I'm trying to press chunks together so that I can cover most of the top of the peaches. There's gonna be some areas that are exposed and don't have any dough covering it. That's totally fine. Also be careful not to touch the dough too much because you don't wanna melt the butter. I like to put this in the refrigerator to chill for about an hour before baking. This way the dough gets really cold, and when it goes into the oven, I'll have a flakier, fluffier result in the cobbler topping. Before I bake it, I brush the top with heavy cream, or you could use an egg wash, and I sprinkle some cinnamon sugar on top. That'll give it some nice color and crunch and a little sweetness. And then this bakes for about 40 minutes. If you notice the top gets too brown, you can put a foil tent on top and continue baking until your dough is set. So I know the dough's set when I stick a toothpick in the center and it comes out clean. Let it cool a bit before serving. This is awesome with some vanilla ice cream or some freshly whipped cream. For this recipe and more, visit myclasscancook.com.